So I went back to Fame and found out that I was going to be auditioning for and doing the screen test. So, can I? Much better.
Welcome to Dance to Dish, where the dance ends and the dish begins. I am your host, Scott Hislop. Hello to our audience, live audience. All right, I am so excited for you today. You are basically in my teenage wet dream. It's true, yes, because I am talking with, today, 3 of the stars from A Chorus Line, the movie, my favorite movie growing up. To my left, we have from Chorus Line, the movie, Jan Gann Boyd, who played Connie Wong. Number 19.
19.
Yes.
Michelle Johnston, who played Bibi Benson. Number 496.
496.
And Cameron English, who played Paul San Marco, number 45. Yeah. Those were,
Wow.
those were your audition numbers. Little research. All right. All right, so Cameron,
Yeah.
I landed on you because I want to talk to you about your Chorus Line experience from audition
Okay.
to shoot.
I was doing the TV show Fame at the time, and I heard about the audition through Dancers on the Show. It was a big cattle call, and we didn't have agents back then, so it was anybody and everybody. It was Jeffrey Hornaday that was doing the choreography. Jeffrey gave me my first job and my last job. So I was really excited to go, and I loved the dancing, and I made it about halfway through, and then they're asking me to read, and I was like, read? Read what? And you know, I had no acting experience, no singing experience, and
You're such a good singer. I can't believe that you
Well,
didn't
you
have
have
singing
that. You have that
experience.
solo. That
Yeah.
song
Oh,
solo
yeah.
at the
You know,
end
my-
of Who Am I
Was that not
Anyway?
really your voice?
that was my car and my bathroom rehearsing. But yeah, thank you. So, can I? Much better. I was both excited and really, really nervous, kind of like how I am right now.
Yeah.
I take the material home, and it was the whole monologue.
And
So-
let me
yeah.
just interject by saying this monologue, I mean, besides maybe Cassie's character, this is a heavy
Very
character.
heavy. And
There's a lot happening, and it goes deep, this monologue.
The thing that was striking about it to me when I took the material home, I just thought, wow, this character is so much like myself. Okay, so the character's gay, right? And innately shy, that's kind of me, and soft-spoken. But beyond that, so in school I was kind of picked on a lot and bullied. And then that all kind of came up.
I know. And Cammy, are you saying I had no chance when you were at King and I?
Sorry, Jan.
Yeah.
So I thought it was interesting to be auditioning for a character who was auditioning. I just kept reflecting back how the similarities that I had with Paul. So I was maybe mentioning that I was bullied in school, and my grades went down, my confidence went down, and I became very self-conscious about my mannerisms, the way I talked, the way I walked.
And that's Paul to a T.
Yeah, it was.
Hands in the pocket.
Yeah, very, very withdrawn. So it's 4 weeks later, and I'm in Studio F at Debbie Reynolds, and Jeffrey Hornaday and Sir Richard are standing in the back. I get through somehow, and Sir Richard asked me to do it a little bit slower, so I did. And he's walking up to me very, very slowly. I made it through, and he said, well, thank you very much. And then he let me go. So I didn't hear anything back for like 6 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh my
it was
God.
like, yeah.
Torture.
I wanted to forget about it, actually.
Did you just go back to Fame and just continue? You were working on Fame.
That was a
It's
good
like-
distraction,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I went back to Fame and found out that I was gonna be auditioning for and doing the screen test in New York. I show up at the airport and there's a limo, and I'm like, damn. I get in the limo and Cynthia Rhodes is in the back seat. I'm looking at these doe eyes. I'm like, why am I here? I know who she is.
We were all in the limo. You, me.
He doesn't remember that.
You don't remember?
I just was looking at Cynthia Rhodes.
He's just staring at Cynthia, and I'm like, look at me.
No, but all those insecurities came into play, and so anyway, that was the first time I saw the New York skyline. It's amazing. I didn't sleep a wink. I do this screen test the next day. I just did it in one take, and I was vulnerable at the right time.
Do you think that being so... Right. I'll distract them while you do it. Do you think that being so jet lagged and like tired from this and sort of like that it kind of in a way helped you relax to do the audition?
More like amped me up.
Amped you up.
Yeah. When I was actually filming it, it was 3 days, and it was just me and the crew and Sir Richard, and there's this big dolly that went down in between the theater seats, and it was very intimidating. As we rolled, the camera, just like Richard in the audition, came very, very slowly down. And you guys, it felt like a predator.
Yeah.
It's just like, and I was just on my, just trying to remember what to say. And
But it's so much more than that, Cameron English. It's so beautiful, that scene. And I watched it again. I mean, I'm no stranger to this film, believe me. I wore my VHS tape out, but I watched that monologue. And you know, it brings me back to my childhood as well, too. You hit on things that I dealt with as a child. And you know, being a gay kid growing up dancing. And it's just, you're vulnerable at that time too, when you needed to film it. It's beautiful.
Take care of my son, he said. And that was the first time he ever called me that.
It's just such an intimate scene. It was sort of hard to turn it off and on. So, and I wasn't used to be acting. So thank you for saying that.
Do you think that Richard, though, like when he auditioned you and he did that walk toward you, like he saw you react or maybe, you know, pull into yourself. And so when he designed that shot, he probably did that knowing it's going to make you feel like this is a predator and you're exposing yourself. So you keep going more and more inward. So it's fucking brilliant, really.
Yeah. I
And
definitely see that
Richard
now.
was so gentle, the way he looked into your eyes, and he would talk softly to you.
He's like a father.
Yeah, just a loving father.
So genuine, so sweet, and he made me vulnerable. When I was reading it through the first time, really struck me, well, the song Who Am I Anyway? I struggled with that. What bothered me most was I didn't know how to be a man. I mean, that was my mantra, like when I was growing up and being bullied in high school. And I think that kind of, in an interesting way, I think it's interesting, is that it led me into dance, but it also gave me, you know, like all of us probably, you know, the voice to say who you are. And so, yeah, many of the lines really resonated with me. Later, after the film, like my character Paul, I injured my left knee. I blew it out. I had surgery. I did rehab for 18 months. Won a 3%. It actually failed. Dance was my way of, that was who I was. I just felt like I had an identity crisis.
Well, I'm struck by the song again. Who am I anyway?
It all came back.
You know, because we do identify ourselves as dancers, and when that's taken away from you,
it's like your wings are clipped.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess what I learned was life pushes you sometimes, and you know, either get up, you get mad, you get, you know, you change your career, you reinvent yourself, you go in another direction. It pushes you, and it's that strength that we have that really determines who we are.
Beautiful.
You know, at the end of the movie, after he hurts his knee, Zach asks the dancers, you know, what are you gonna do when you can't dance anymore? And then in the show, actually, in the original, Morales sings What I Did for Love. You know, kiss today goodbye, point me toward tomorrow.
The gift was ours to borrow.
The gift was, that's the line I was actually trying to remember. The gift was ours to borrow.
It's just
like, it rings all over my life, and it's, you know, I've grown a lot since then, and I'm sorry I'm crying so much.
No, it's good.
But hopefully maybe dancers can sort of relate with this, just the losing and going and moving beyond, you know, those golden years. I mean, dance is a short life.
Yeah.
And it's such a wonderful
And it's a gift, too, and I think we should toast to this gift. And, you know, real quick before we do that, the gift of all of you, because honestly, what you did on that film and each of your roles and the work that you put into it, it ripples. It had ripple effects, and I'm living proof of that. So let's toast to the gift of dance.
To the gift.
It's just ours to borrow, though.
Yes, it is, it's true. And a dance dish, of course.
The dance dish.
The dance dish.